All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going deep into the hidden mechanics of our relationships to figure out something that I think we've all felt. Why the people we love the most can sometimes leave us feeling completely and utterly drained. We're going to explore this fascinating idea called the psychoenergetics of attachment, based on some incredible work by Sachin J. Karnik. So let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? It's this weird exhaustion that doesn't come from strangers or enemies, but from the very people and things you care about the most. It's such a common experience. But what if I told you it's not actually a natural one? What is really going on under the surface when we feel love and affection?
So here's the roadmap for our journey today. We're going to start by looking at what's called the hidden energy crisis. Then we'll draw a really important line between genuine love and a concept called mindness. After that, we'll uncover the core reason for our energy loss, see a real-world example of how it plays out, and then, most importantly, we'll explore how to love freely.
Okay, first up, the hidden energy crisis. The big idea here is that so many of us are walking around with this constant low-grade energy leak, and it's being caused by what this work calls entangled attachments.
You know, we've kind of accepted that worry and stress and emotional pain are just the price of admission for loving someone. It's just part of the deal. But this perspective says, hold on a second. It argues that this constant drain isn't normal at all. In fact, it's a harmful malfunction in our system that we can and should fix.
So, if love itself isn't the actual problem, then what is? Well, that brings us right to the diagnostic part of our explainer. We're about to uncover the root cause by separating two very, very different kinds of connection. First, let's talk about our natural state, our factory default setting, you could say. It's called Neesworth Prem, or selfless love. The perfect example is the bond between a mother and her newborn baby. It's biological, it's pure survival instinct, and there's absolutely no ego involved, just this pure, profound connection. This is where we all start.
But then, something happens. As we grow, our sense of I, our ego, starts to develop. And that's when a totally different thing can show up. Mama toi, which basically means mindness. This is the moment the ego steps onto the stage, points at that pure love, and says, that's mine. It's a psychological feeling of ownership, of possessiveness, and it starts to corrupt that pure connection. So let's just put these two side by side, because the difference is night and day. On one side, you have selfless love. It's biological, it's natural, it's a pure connection. But on the other, you have mindness. It's purely psychological, it's possessive, and ultimately, it's a disturbance of love. And here's the real kicker. We confuse the second one for the first one all the time. Okay, get ready for the big aha moment. How exactly does this mindness make us lose our energy? This section breaks down the precise mechanism, and it all revolves around this really cool concept called the locus of identity. So what is the locus of identity? Think of it like the central command center for your entire sense of self. It's your energetic and psychological core. It's the place where you exist. It's supposed to be your own sacred internal space. So check this out. Here's how the entanglement happens step by step. 1. Someone or something exists out there, in the world, totally separate from you. 2. Because of mindness, you reach out and you pull them inside your locus of identity. You internalize them. 3. Now that they're inside you, their problems are your problems. Their pain literally becomes your pain. And the result, step 4, is an energy leak. It's a state called dukkha, or suffering. I know this might sound a little abstract, so let's ground it in a really powerful real-world example of how this mechanism, this sickness of binding, actually impacts our physical health and vitality.
The source material has this incredible line that just hits you. It says, "The embodied soul holds a doctoral degree in generating self-pain." I mean, wow. It's basically saying that we are absolute masters at creating our own suffering through these little attachments, and we often don't even see it happening.
So here's the story. We have a grandfather. He is just over the moon about his grandson's upcoming wedding. He's proud, he's excited, the whole family is celebrating. But then, out of nowhere, his grandson calls off the engagement, an external event. Now, what happens next is absolutely key. The grandfather wasn't just sad for his grandson. No, it was deeper than that. He had pulled the idea of this marriage deep inside his own locus of identity. He had linked it to his own status, his own happiness. So when the external event collapsed, his internal world collapsed right along with it. He physically lost his appetite for a whole week. That right there is the sickness of binding in action. So you can really see the two states here. On one side, you've got this collapsed energy. It's all about gripping and holding on. It creates so much friction in your system and you lose vitality. But on the other side, you have non-attachment. Your energy circulates freely, there's low friction, and you experience high vitality. It's a completely different way of being. Okay, so what in the world do we do about this? Does this mean we should all become cold and detached and stop caring? No, absolutely not. The solution is actually way more profound. It's about fundamentally changing our internal wiring. It's about achieving a state called living liberation. The ultimate goal is to reach this state called Jivan Mukti, or living liberation. And it's pretty simple in concept. It's the state where you consciously stop pulling external people, events, and things into your core identity. This is the absolute key to plugging the energy leak and achieving what the paper calls energy economy. So what does life actually look like in this state? Well, your relationships are still functional. You can feel deep affection, but that affection comes without the painful hook. You're free from that constant seesaw of attachment and aversion. And here's the most beautiful part. That pure, selfless love we talked about at the beginning, Niswarth Prem, it can finally shine through without being all twisted up and distorted by the ego. Now, the paper offers a spiritual conclusion to this whole thing. It suggests that your locus of identity isn't actually meant to be empty. Instead of filling it with all these temporary people and things that cause us pain, it says the only entity that should be internalized is the divine. And when that happens, the result isn't pain. It's what's called ananda, or pure bliss. And really, this whole thing boils down to one simple, powerful truth. True Prem is free of egoic internalization. Love itself was never the problem. It's what our ego does with it. It's the act of grabbing it, possessing it, and making it mine that causes all the suffering. And that leaves us with one final and I think really important question for you to take with you. Take a serious look at your own life, your worries, your relationships. What people, what outcomes, what possessions have you pulled deep inside that core identity of yours? What have you internalized into your center? Because the answer to that question might just be the key to reclaiming your energy and finally learning how to love freely.